to this. Mario Chalmers on, what is it, Playmakers HQ podcast, talking about LeBron. Remember, Chalmers is a teammate of LeBron's. And wasn't he on the championship team with LeBron?
Yes, that's why I was a
Won
little
rings
surprised
with
by
LeBron,
this.
so here he is.
Nobody fears Bron. Nobody's like, damn, I gotta go play this Bron tonight. Nobody said that. I don't know why.
Right.
Because I've seen people be scared when they actually line up to him, but they're not scared thinking about that matchup.
Right.
You hear anybody from that era talk about going against Jordan, there's a fear.
Right.
So when you have people that fear a player, then that's telling you something different already. Like, Jordan's just that guy. Like, everything was, I want to be like Mike.
Right.
Rob?
Very, very interesting. Well, I mean, Chris, we've talked about this before. For all that LeBron has done, he's not the favorite of a lot of players. And there's all kinds of different reasons. The killer instinct, whether or not it's a perception. He's giving the ball to other people. If you need a basket to end the game, or you give it to LeBron or Michael, they give it to Michael. If you need a free throw to win the game, you give it to LeBron or Michael. You give, like if you talk, there are players who would swear by Kobe. Forget about Michael. Swear by Kobe over LeBron, even though Kobe don't even have the numbers, Chris, to back up what they feel about him. Do you know what I mean? Like the big shots at the end. Yep. LeBron has a better shooting percentage on those kind of shots than Kobe, but that's not the way it feels. And I believe that there's no exact science on this, but there's a feel about who do you fear, who do you want in those big moments. And it's just surprising that a guy who played with LeBron and didn't have nothing to do with Michael Jordan, a young guy, feels that way. That's a little bit of a surprise.
Well, he did probably grow up idolizing Jordan.
Sure.
You know what I mean? He's that generation.
But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't think he's talking about greatness. Now, granted, he clearly thinks Jordan was better than LeBron, and that's one of the
there's no doubt. I mean,
right. But I just, in general, I don't think whether or not you fear a player, Rob, is about greatness. Like, I think a lot of this has, and I agree with Chalmers, I don't think players really fear going out there playing against LeBron like they did Kobe or certainly Mike. But I think it has to do with personality. LeBron's a nice guy, like a legitimately nice guy. He wants all the players in the league to be friends, Rob. He wants to,
and he wants to be
liked.
liked.
Out for guys. Right, he wants to be liked. Kobe didn't care about that. Jordan didn't care about that.
Kobe
I'm not saying they didn't have friends, but they didn't care.
They didn't interact with people.
Right. They didn't go out of their way for that. And I don't know if LeBron goes out of the way, but I just think that's how his personality is and certainly comes off as. His demeanor, Rob, the way he carries himself. Like LeBron, and I've talked about this with several people since the Ja Morant thing. Rob, LeBron's upbringing was rougher than at least 90% of the other players in the NBA. But you would never think that because the way he carries himself and all the things he's done. Like, you wouldn't think LeBron is from the hood like that. But he is. And so that's how the way he carries himself can, affect this thing. And I think, Rob, like, look, did people fear playing against Tim Duncan? Probably not. I don't think. They knew he was awesome.
Too laid back.
It was, but it's all personality. It had nothing to do with his greatness. They probably feared more going against Garnett, even though Duncan was better than Garnett.
Yep, I agree with that.
You know what I mean? The way Garnett's coming at you, he's going to be in your face. He's going to be talking junk. And I would say, Rob, it's like, and I've told you this before, but one player that faced Kobe and LeBron told me this. He said, look, the difference between facing Kobe and LeBron was like the difference between fighting Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. You knew you were going to lose because they're so great, but you knew fighting Tyson was going to be painful. He was coming to knock you out. And that was Kobe. That was Jordan. With LeBron, he compared it more to fighting Floyd Mayweather. You're going to lose because he's that good, but it's not going to be that painful. Floyd's not going to really, in most cases, knock you out, not going to hurt you. He's just going to beat you. And I think that should be understandable, right? Who was better, Ali or Foreman? Ali. Who you think fighters feared fighting
Right.
more? Foreman. Because he might maim you. Ali was going to beat you and might even knock you out, but Foreman was going to knock your block off. And so I think it's as simple as that.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And it's just a feel. There's no science to it.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's just a feel that people have. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my Zoom. I can't get it to work. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, in LeBron's case, but we've heard this about him for a while, though, right? This isn't the first person to say it. It's just surprising that a guy who actually won championships with him is saying it.
And I don't think he meant.
No, I'm not. He's not trashing him.
I don't know that he. Right. I don't think he
but
meant it necessarily. I think he was just. Look, credit to him, Rob. He was being honest.
Yeah, but when you say that, people are going to look at that and say, "Oh, okay,
because a lot of times they only gonna take the one quote, right? They're gonna. They might see it secondhand and think Chalmers was dissing LeBron. But like I said, I don't think players feared playing against Duncan, even though they knew it was gonna be, man, this dude is so good, like they may have feared Garnett or somebody like that. So let's see what the listeners think.
Fears, I love that.
Yeah,
very good. Andre in Massachusetts, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah, how you doing? Thanks for taking the call. Listen, reason being LeBron does not have the fear fight factor, keep folks up late into the night, is because we've seen him blink when it matters most. He's been in tough situations, and it goes back to me in terms of 2009 and 2010, where he was supposed to have those marquee matchups with Kobe Bryant in the NBA Finals, and he wasn't able to advance on those Cleveland Cavalier teams, which, by the way, were loaded with talent. He didn't have the
loaded
all-time.
Really?
Oh yeah. We're talking
Anderson Varejao, Zydrunas Ilgauskas, Eric Snow, Mo Williams.
Yeah, those teams led the East. Those teams were number one seed in the East those 2 years.
Loaded
And the
with
narrative that
talent?
LeBron, the narrative.
Come on,
LeBron
Andre.
did
You
not
better
have
than
help.
this, Andre. You're better than this. It was a credit to LeBron that he carried them that far. 61 and 66 wins.
Why did he lose that Game 5 in Cleveland, and that series did not even go 7 games against Boston? That was on LeBron, not on the.
I'm not saying he
character.
didn't have his struggles at times, but he also was going against KG, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce, 3 Hall of Famers, still in their prime. Kobe couldn't do nothing with them without Powell.
Point taken, Chris. But he's also blinked in other series. The San Antonio series, if Ray Allen doesn't bail him out, that's a loss. And they lost.
Did he blink though? Oh, he blinked. He blinked in Dallas. There's no doubt about that.
Okay,
but
I'm just
these
saying,
other series
versus Michael, we've seen once you see it once with somebody. Once Mike Tyson got knocked out in Japan, other people began to believe. And you've seen it with LeBron. That's why it's different than with Jordan. Once Jordan grabbed hold of the championship in the 90s, he had it with, there was no letting it go. And that's why I think people look at him different. Thanks for taking the call.
Yep, appreciate it. How about Van in Phoenix? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What up, Van?
What's going on, man?
How you?
What up?
Man, I'm doing good, man. It's actually raining. I'm waiting for people to start running into stuff for no reason out here.
Be careful out there, yeah.
Yes, sir. But I'm going to put it to you like this. It's simple. You can relate because players these days aren't like in the 90s. Like, everybody is buddy-buddy, want to hang out in the all-season. Like, I think back to the day of Xavier McDaniel, Charles Barkley, and cats like that didn't want to be – like, you feared Xavier. I mean, I was a fan, and I wasn't going to mess with Xavier McDaniel because those guys put fear into you. And Michael Jordan slapped his own teammates. So what do you think he would do to you who was an opponent? Nowadays these guys, everybody wants to be buddy and be in everybody's little video or whatever. So you don't have that element of that guy is not my friend on the court.
Yeah, look, the game was much more physical, and Jordan to compete in that era, he had to be physical, right? Like you had to, think of the stars back then that won: Isaiah, Jordan, and obviously you had some bigs and You weren't going to finesse your way to a championship back then.
No, you had Sean Kemp, you had Gary Payton, those guys. Gary Payton talked you out of your game so fast, you wouldn't know what happened.
Right.
Exactly.
No doubt. Thanks, Van. Appreciate it. Drive safe. Frank in Sarasota. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What you got, buddy?
Chris, Rob, you guys are captains.
Thank you,
2
buddy.
out of 3. Listen, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3, rock, paper, scissors. Chris, you just won. You just won to pick first, and you picked LeBron James. Can you imagine what that's going to do to Michael Jordan when Rob picks him second? You know he's about to destroy your team. Now, let's say Rob had the number 1 pick, and he picked Michael Jordan first. You know what LeBron James is going to do? He's going to get picked second. He's not going to have that fire, that drive to want to destroy your team. He's going to be talking to Rob about who they should pick next. Just saying.
I think he's saying he's going to want to join the Jordan team.
Yes.
I think that's what he was saying.
That New York accent is so thick. Am I right? My God.
Right.
Love
Well,
it.
Rob, and that is something that, when it comes to the GOAT conversation, a lot of people look at that. Like LeBron joined, with other great players and Jordan didn't. That's what a lot of people will look at as a deciding factor.
No, that's a big part for a lot of people, Chris, that they can't can't look away from or not. Like we even heard like Clyde Frazier. He's brought it up. There's other players who like, oh, okay, yeah, you should be good. You just joined 2 other big time stars.
Right.
And everybody knows, and a lot of people, and it's been rehashed a million times. The Bulls were a terrible franchise. They just were. They were.
Yeah. No doubt about it. He turned them into a flagship franchise.